It's your boy Sid, and welcome to Speak Your Mind all the time, guys. Let's just jump right into it. I got a special guest. Let's bring him in the building. I got the man with the power. Mr. Big Game James is in the building. I appreciate you coming on the show. I know we've been talking about doing this for a minute. I got to get your feedback. I got to get to know where your head's at with the draft and everything that's going on. So let's just jump into it. What do you think is going to happen with the draft tomorrow? Are you excited? Because we're under 24 hours.
I'm definitely excited. I was just kind of, I think I'm excited because I finally want it done. I'm tired of hearing all these mock drafts. I think they had a thing where it said the Cowboys, just fans in general, had the most mock drafts, like 1 million mock drafts. We crushed everybody, and I really believe it, watching all them damn mock drafts on Twitter. So I'm just tired of doing it, seeing it and all that. So I'm ready for that, and I'm just, ready to see, who can be the next Cowboys of 2021. You feel me?
Yeah, man, I'm with you. This is crazy. I think, like you said, there's so many mock drafts. Every day it's something different. Pitts has come to us. He's not come to us. Surtain and Horn, Parsons, like it's all over the place. It's not just set in stone about who's going to be coming to us. And listen, there's so much candy out there. Do you agree?
I mean, that's always happens in drafts. I mean, that you always hear about prospects. They were can't miss prospects, and then closer to the draft, all of a sudden stuff started leaking about them that they're this and they're that, and they weren't this and they weren't that. Team smoke screening, people saying, "Oh, we love this player," and really they don't love them. They're just trying to get a draft pick or trying to trade out. It's just now a game of cat and mouse and chess. Chess and checkers, all that good stuff. It's just a back and forth. So this is just what happens. So you just got to prepare for it, get ready for it, and I think Dallas is going to possibly get approached by a few teams. That 10th pick is a pick where there's players or a team's going to want a player. Especially we keep on hearing about New England with Justin Fields and, Trey Lance. We see these quarterbacks. This looks like it's going to be a quarterback-heavy draft very early. So with that being said, that 10th pick that the Cowboys have is going to be a pick that can be able to trade out. I just did a mock draft on mine, and there were all kind of teams hitting the Cowboys up every 2 seconds about that 10th pick. So it's going to be interesting to see if that actually happens. So we'll see how it goes and what players go before us to see if it actually does happen.
Okay, so my question to you, okay, I'm already seeing it. And I said it on my show yesterday. I think Atlanta is going to pick Kyle Pitts at number 4. Everybody was against it. And all of a sudden on Twitter, it came out that Atlanta is showing interest in Kyle Pitts. Okay, so I'm just playing devil's advocate. Kyle Pitts is gone. Okay, or Kyle Pitts is still there at number 7. Do you think Jerry Jones is going to get on the phone at number 7 if Kyle Pitts is there?
No, he don't have to, and he don't need to, because that's not a need. Like Kyle Pitts, I understand why people are going nuts over him because of the measurables and what he's did and what you think he can add to the team. But that, to me, that just don't make no sense. Kyle Pitts, we heard Jerry say that we ain't doing this, we ain't moving up. That don't make no sense, and it doesn't, because you don't need a tight end. Yes, you already got a guy, and even though he blew out his Achilles, he's still a guy that you signed a contract to, and we're looking to take another leap. This is a guy that you want to take the next leap. Dalton Schultz, I'm saying he's a world beater, but he proved serviceable. He proved that he can play that tight end position that a lot of people were doubting on. So tight end isn't a need. So you would not have to do that, because you still have to give up capital. Why are you doing that for an offensive player when you already got offensive players on the team? You shouldn't have to do that. So I definitely don't see Jerry Jones doing that. Even if it's at 7, he don't need to go to Kyle Pitts, because that doesn't make sense.
Okay, so we don't get Kyle Pitts. Who would be Big Game James? Who would you like to see follow us at our number 10 pick?
Oh, I mean, I'm staying with J.C. Horn. I mean, I've been saying I don't want a corner at 10 because the pressure of it. That's why I said I loved Diggs last year. I wanted Diggs last year. I kept talking about Diggs. I put him in my mock draft, and they drafted him. But I kept on saying I didn't want Diggs in the first. I wanted Diggs in the second, less pressure. And then you could see him make a smoother transition. There wasn't all that, oh, he was drafted 10th. Why ain't he doing this and that? Because you know that's going to happen. So I think that's the only thing I really don't want to have those guys have to deal with. But if there's a guy that says, I can deal with that pressure, if there's a guy who says, I want that pressure, I think J.C. Horn is the one that would soak that up and wouldn't shy away from it and run away from that. So that's why I would go with him. And that's not no knock on Surtain, because I think he's a very good corner as well. But I just like the way Horn brings it. And plus, you know, both of them had good bloodlines. I've watched both of their daddies play in the NFL. But I know Horn is definitely going to bring that in your face. And with Mike McCarthy saying we want to play some more man-to-man, and now you got a guy in Diggs who can play it as well. Now, hopefully right there, you got two cornerstone players, and they'll both be in rookie-type deals. So it's not like Diggs will be going out of his contract and be thinking, dang, we got to start over. You're starting fresh with two new guys on rookie contracts, and those could be building blocks for your future.
I agree with you, man. I was riding on a pitch train last week, you know, because I was getting in that whole everybody's like Pitts, Kyle Pitts, and I went and watched some tape, and then I said, wait a minute, let me go. And then Surtain came out there, and I went and watched tape on Surtain. But I gotta admit it to you, and I said it last week on my show. I watched the tape on Horn. I think Horn is a better, statistically, on numbers wise. Surtain, yes, he's got it, but I think Horn would be a better fit with the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's hungry, man. He's young, he's hungry, and I think that he'd be a better asset to the Dallas Cowboys. So I definitely like to see Horn fall to the Dallas Cowboys as well at number 10. So I'm with you on that. But would you be upset if we chose Surtain over Horn?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, I'm not mad. I watched Surtain, and if you really watch his game, I mean, he has really good size. And one of the things that I really like about Surtain is that he is athletic. I mean, he had over a 40-inch vertical. He ran very good in his 40. He just doesn't talk like Horn. It's kind of the thing where you had, I think we talked about with Tuck was on the show a few days ago. I think he mentioned or somebody making the comparison between Dez Bryant and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper doesn't talk. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. But does that make him any less of a dog? No, look at his numbers. He's still an animal. He's still a beast. And that doesn't, just because somebody doesn't talk, Julio Jones, they say he never says nothing. But what is he? He's an animal. You feel me? But when you saw Dez Bryant was vocal. You knew what Dez was going to bring, and he was going to tell you about it. Some people like that, some people don't. But that doesn't take anything less from Surtain because he doesn't talk like Horn. Because if you go watch his tape, he's a very good corner, really good size, knows how to play all schemes. And the only type I really saw you really getting receptions on him was the quick slant pattern. That looks like those were the patterns that were not easy, but you could get him on those. But one thing I really love about him, he's smart. He studies his opponent. He's going to study his opponent week in and week out. Doesn't fall for double moves. Is very on that intellectual plane. And you need that when you play the cornerback position. So I wouldn't be mad at Surtain at all, but I just like the Horn because I guess maybe it's more like my attitude. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to fight you every single play. I'm going to talk to you. You can talk to me. You can get a play on me, but I'm going to get right back up and like try it again. That's what I'm going to do every single play. I did it when I played, and I'm going to do it while I'm out. I'm not playing, and I guess that's the type of guy I like. So I think that's why I prefer Horn over Surtain.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. Like you said, Horn is vocal. And even Kyle Pitts was asked, which player do you feel was more of a contender for you? And he came out and said it, and he said Horn. Horn was more on him. Horn, I think Horn kind of turns into a receiver when he's covering, and that's where I think he's dangerous overall. But like you said, Horn is vocal. He's even come out and said he's the number one defensive player coming into the draft. He's also
they all gonna say that though. You know what I'm saying? They all gonna say that. I don't be listening to that kind of madness and all that kind of craziness because every player is gonna say he's the best. Every player is gonna say I'm the best player in the draft. And when they ask you the question, what do you expect them not to say? The way, oh no, I'm second. I'm okay. He's better than me. They ain't never gonna say that, dog. If somebody were to tell you that, you're gonna instantly say, all right, interview over, and I don't want you on my team now. You feel what I'm saying? So every guy's gonna say that. I don't put stock into that. But like I said, I knew how his dad played. And when his dad played for the Saints, he was just like that. You feel me? And his dad was a dog and a competitor. That's the thing. His dad was a competitor. He competed every single play. And then when I just listened to his son, he was just like, how did your dad influence you? Did he want you to play receiver? He was like, no, exact opposite. He kind of wanted me to kind of do my own thing, but he wanted me to play corner. So, I like that. I just, like I said, I just like Horn's attitude, and I'll be happy with the pick, but I'll be happy with either guy. I wouldn't be mad either way.
Okay, here's a trick question.
All right.
Pitts is available at 10. Horn is available at 10. Who do you go for?
I'm gonna go with Horn. I was before on Pitts. The only way I would say I'm gonna take Pitts is if there was a plan in place for cornerback right after that, or I was possibly maybe looking at a pick with a Gallup, because now I have a Pitts, and now maybe I'm trying to dangle a Gallup right now and see if I can go ahead and get maybe a player or a ready now pick, so I can go ahead and get that, because now I have an added asset right now. Even though he's a rookie, he's an added asset, and we can split him out. I would be doing those type of things, but I've been going back and forth to have my guy Emery Hunt on my show, and I asked him that same question, and he was surprised me when he said, I was like, what would you do? And he said, I'm an offensive guy, man. He said, but I would have to go with the cornerback. And when I thought about it, that was last week when I thought about it, Sid, I was like, yeah, because when I sit back and look at our cornerback position, if you look at our guys right now, we got Diggs, you got Brown, you got Jordan Lewis, Rashard Robinson was suspended for 2 games, Maurice Kennedy, Savion Smith. You don't have any kind of guys, and you didn't get anybody in free agency. Your free agency signing was so far Jordan Lewis. That's when you lost Cheeto, you brought in Jordan Lewis. So when you look at those guys, that doesn't inspire anything. That doesn't inspire anything except maybe Diggs. That doesn't inspire anything. And we've seen all those guys get hurt last year. Some of them guys were on 3-game injury reserve. So what if 2 of those guys go down? Look at the depth. It's terrible. It's bad. So as much as I probably will want to Pitts, we got to shore up that back end, and we got to shore up the cornerback, because that's the number one need. And I would have to pass on Pitts on that one if J.C. Horn was available.
I agree with you, man. I said it so many times. I said we need to focus on defense. We're already stacked. We have a lot of weapons already going into the season. I wouldn't be mad if we Jerry Jones kind of hinted yesterday in the interview that he was looking more at defense. And again, I think he's setting up a lot of smoke screens with, throwing up the whole Kyle Pitts out there. I think Jerry Jones is a smart businessman. He's just going to make you think that that's what he's going to do, and that's a player that he's looking at. But I think that they definitely have another route that they're going to take, and we won't know until tomorrow what Jerry Jones is going to do.
Yeah, it's going to, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see what really happens. I would be interested to see what the Cowboys do if Pitts did fall and he was available at 10, what they would really do. Would they really go that route? Like I said, I wouldn't be mad at the Cowboys, but I hope they would have a plan instantly to come back and get that corner, because if you don't get that corner with that first pick, you're definitely going to need to come back and get it in the second round. It has to be addressed, and at least 2 cornerbacks has to be addressed, unless what we were talking about on my show with my dog Mike White, we were talking about possibly if you were looking at New England, maybe trading for one of their guys, either Gilmore or J.C. Jackson, and give one of our future picks, like a 22 second or a 22 first, one of those type of picks, and give that up and take one of those guys if you didn't get a corner, if you went after a Pitts. So that would be more in my heart to go that route. If you did get Pitts, immediately say, well, let's trade for a corner and let's get rid of one of our next year picks, because now you got your guy in Pitts. If you said that's the all-world guy, the immaculate guy, so now go ahead and trade a pick for next year and trade for a guy that you can get as well, maybe a young guy in J.C. Jackson or something like that.
Okay. I want to send a shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Thanks for tuning in, man. Action Jackson said, if we go offense, let's get one of the tackles. Would you be angry at that move?
I wouldn't be angry. It's a boring pick, but you always need to win in the trenches. You feel me? It's not a pick everybody's going to jump up and down about, but you got a guy in Sewell who's he's different. You feel me? He's a different guy. He's a different animal, and we know Tyron Smith. Doesn't matter. I don't care what they're telling me about his health, and he's the healthiest he's been every year. That's what they say every damn year. So I don't believe in none of that stuff. I don't listen to none of that stuff. Guys are coming off injuries, and they still need to prove that they're going to be healthy, especially a Tyron Smith. So you definitely wouldn't go wrong with something like that. Me personally, I'm not the offensive line guy, but I would look at Sewell more than Slater. I feel like if you're going to get an offensive tackle, I don't know if Slater is that one guy who's a generational guy. I think he's a very good player, but I think there's other tackles in this draft that are very efficient. And here's the thing that I said before. Dak Prescott isn't that guy that he was in 2016 or 2017. He is a very good quarterback. He is an elite quarterback now. And we saw him with backup tackles still toting the rock, still dropping 400 yards passing, still doing his thing. So I'm not saying you don't want that, but he doesn't need that now because of how he stepped his game up. Makes a difference.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna go off track because you brought him up into the topic just now. Dak, I'm watching a lot of his tapes that he's putting out. He's looking good. He's looking like he's recovering well from his injury. Do you think Dak will have a breakout year this year? And with that being said about weapons, we're talking about weapons. Who do you think will become Dak's primary receiver this year, or do you think he'll pretty much spread the ball like he's used to doing?
I mean, I think he's going to spread the ball. I mean, I think he's going to have that rapport with CD Lamb. That's year 2 with CD Lamb. You could see that they were getting, real good chemistry, but he's good with Amari. I think Dak is just going to be a guy that if you open, I'm going to get you the ball. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. If you're open, I'm going to get you the ball. I don't think he's every single play going to be like, oh, I'm looking for Coop. Maybe if it's a big play and I'm looking for it and he feels more confident, I think maybe a guy like Coop is your go-to guy. I mean, you paid him that way, and I think he's proven it since he's been at Dallas that he is the go-to guy. Look at his numbers last year. They were career-type numbers, and you didn't even have Dak Prescott there. You had quarterbacks like Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci and one game with whatever his name, Gilbert, go Gadget Gilbert. That's what I call him. So, and he still put
double
up
G.
Yeah. So he still put up crazy numbers. So he would be to me, your go-to guy. But if anybody's open, I feel like Dak is the quarterback that you get open, I'm going to get you the ball. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I think Dak's going to have a breakout year this year. I think he's going to come back even more dominant than he was last year. But I do believe that CD will become. I think a lot of people are saying Cooper will still be the number 1 receiver, but I think CD is training really hard. He put on some good weight. He's definitely.
I don't know if he put on some weight. He probably looked like he put on some muscle. He's still slim.
I think he put on that muscle because some of those hits that he took last year.
But see, here's my thing, and this is what I tell about people. Just because you slim and you people think, ooh, them his hurt. They may have, but see, he has a type of body frame that even though he's slim and slender by nature, they're still strong guys. Because when you look at Randy Gregory, when he came out at Nebraska, he was slim. He was like 245. He was like 240, 245. He was light. And people were like, how's he going to be able to, set the edge or hold and up in the run game? But he was stronger than he looked. And that's what I feel like CD Lamb is. So I don't think he's never a guy that's going to put on mass weight. But when he puts on muscle, it's going to be that strong muscle. So he's always going to be a lot stronger than you think with his body. Kind of like when you see AJ Green, they said he was a lot stronger than he looked, but AJ Green was wiry.
Okay. I definitely hear you. But do you believe that CD will become the number 1 receiver this year?
I don't think he's going to be the number 1 receiver. He will have the number 1 receiver traits, but as long as Amari Cooper's there, Amari Cooper's going to be that deal.
Okay, I hear you. So, all right, so we're gonna go back to the draft right now.
You can debate me on it. Don't be scared.
No, I won't do that because I'm with you. I think I agree. Cooper has always been Dak's guy. But you know what? I did see something, and I'm seeing a lot in the media. Gallup and Dak are getting pretty close, but Dak's pretty close to everybody. And I think Gallup's going to also be the guy to look out for this year, that's going to be getting the ball to a lot.
We'll see. I mean, I think Gallup is still going to be steady like he is, but I mean, Gallup to me ain't never going to be a go-to guy. Just me, I ain't no disrespecting him, but Gallup is just to me more of a secondary receiver, and I feel like they're always going to have that rapport. But I don't feel like he's going to be a guy that's going to overtake the receiver room or anything like that. He's just going to be that secondary guy. He's going to hit you with them deep threats, get those muscle 50-50 balls. He'll be around one game. You might see Gallup only get 1 catch, 2 catches, 3 catches, and then the fourth game he gets a 9 catch, 125 yard game. I think that's what kind of season Gallup is going to have.
Okay. People are asking me, they were like, Sid, don't want none of that. No, I would never challenge Big Game James.
Why not?
Anything that he says.
Man,
he's very knowledgeable out there.
Nah, you better bring it. You got the knowledge too. Bring it. I'm because when I go again, what I'm saying, I might not know everything, but if like Brian Broaddus was on here, I ain't gonna be scared to say nothing against no Brian Broaddus because he Brian Broaddus. And there ain't no disrespect to Brian Broaddus either.
No, 100%, 100%. So we're gonna go back into the draft. We saw some moves. I think Bridgewater got traded up today.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got traded over to Denver. Yep.
So, what do you think their next move is gonna be?
I don't know. They still saying they're searching for a quarterback and they need one because Drew Lock obviously doesn't look like he's the answer. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they said they had interest in Surtain. If a quarterback was still there, I think they would definitely look at that. Like if a Justin Fields was there, if a Trey Lance was there, I feel like they definitely look at it. I think we did our mock draft and Denver took Mac Jones. I don't think they would do that, but I definitely think they're looking for a quarterback. They got a couple of cornerbacks in free agency, Kyle Fuller and somebody else, but they're relatively a little bit older. So I'm sure that they would want to have a young guy in there. But with that offense that they have, they just got Judy last year, and they had the other kid, the tall guy. I still can't remember his name. He's a really tall receiver. They got him like the year before or something like that. They need a guy that can get him the ball. So quarterback could be a pick, and if that's a pick, that's where you possibly could see Surtain or home fall in Cowboys' lap, and then it's who do they want? What would they do?
Yeah, man. I think the thing that's going to make the draft very interesting tomorrow is to see which direction that San Fran goes. I think pick number 3 is going to be the game changer.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they keep on talking that Mac Jones stuff and Trey Lance. They said they narrowed it between them two. Yo, that'd be wild if they went that Mac Jones. But, hey, it is what it is. You feel me? I'm looking in these comments, though. I'm listening to Miss Moving the Chain. She's going hard in the paint for that offensive line. She's going hard in the paint. I hear you over there going hard in the paint for that offensive line. Like I said, I ain't mad at that. But, this is what I was just saying with the offensive line is I feel like when you got a quarterback who, not ready, you really need that offensive line. Because, like a rookie who you putting in the fire, you don't want to put him in the fire, say it again, with average offensive linemen or backups or anything like that, because you could ruin his mentality, his psyche. We seeing guys get sacked 50, 60 times, and it messes up their psyche. They start seeing what they quote-unquote the ghost. So I definitely feel that. But I feel like once you start getting on that upper echelon of the quarterbacking, then yes, you definitely want to have a good offensive line, but then it's not like, oh, I need a great left tackle. I need a great right tackle because we need to just protect this guy. Dak is still young, and I feel like he stepped his game up enough to get that ball out quicker. He's athletic, things of that nature. You don't want to get him beat up, but you just don't have to feel like you have to get those guys all the time because your quarterback has stepped up. And like I said, we've seen it happened with Brandon Knight and Terrence Steele. You don't want those guys, but Dak was still very serviceable as what he played in his game, even with those guys there.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Moving the Chains. And she responded to you. She said, we got $160 million investment with $124 million guaranteed. We need to protect Dak.
I hear you.
Yeah. So, yeah, big shout out to Moving the Chains, man. We definitely understand where you're coming from. Yes.
I'd rather Sewell than Slater, though.
Repeat that?
I'd rather Sewell than Slater.
Ooh.
If they got Slater at 10, that's cool. But all right.
Why would you rather Sewell over Slater?
I just think I think he maybe has a little bit more uptick. I know they said, and I think he's more of the maybe natural tackle. And they saying that, I seen Slater, and everybody's talking about, especially the Ninja. He keeps on talking about what he did to Chase Young, and he's athletic as all hell. But they saying that he fits the more guard role. And I know Cowboys already got some guards in there. I like to see what Connor McGovern's going to do. I think he is a good guard, but then they're saying that he could play some center. And even when Broadus was on our show on the hype, they even said Connor Williams could play some center. They were wanting to move Brandon Knight to guard. So it's all kind of mix and matching. But me personally, from what I've seen from them, I like Sewell better than Slater. Just me.
Guys, you heard it here, man. Big Game James is dropping the knowledge. Big Game James, I want you to, we're going to continue this, but I want you to let everybody know where to find you on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Twitter. Please let the fans know.
Oh man, you can just find me on Silver and Blue Nation, that's going to be changing soon. So just so y'all know, it's going to be Silver and Blue Nation is going to be eventually moved over to strictly Big Game James. So just hear it while you see it now. Silver and Blue Nation is eventually going to be going away, and it's going to be just strictly Big Game James. But right now, you can check me out on Silver and Blue Nation on my Facebook, Big Game James on my Facebook. You just type that in. Silver and Blue Nation on the YouTube, Instagram as well. And then if you go on the Twitter, if you like to follow me or check me out on Twitter, you can follow me at Big Game James on the Twitter handle as well.
Yeah, man, guys, don't worry. I'm going to have all that good information in the description box below once this stream is done. I'm going to get all that, and you guys will be able to definitely go and check out his channel and continue to subscribe and support. Big Game James has been one of my mentors. He's been doing this for a very long time. So definitely continue to check him out because he drops some crazy knowledge. So we're gonna jump into.
I want to go ahead. Go ahead. I want you.
No, go ahead. Just say what you wanted to say, bro.
I was about to ask you some questions. Now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all asking me. You feel me? So let me ask you. If you got right here, let me see. Let me throw out a scenario. Okay. So let's say that we got Horn. Who's your second round pick? What position you want to go after? Your first 3 rounds. Who you want?
I want to go deep. I want to go tackle. I think we need to address that as well.
Would you address it if you got Horn in the first round, or would you address it in the second or third round?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Would you?
No.
Why not?
Because like I said, I feel like Dak has stepped up. I am going to trust a little bit that Tyron will be better. The lunatic, what's up with you, baby? I do feel like I feel like La'el Collins will be there. I feel like Brandon Knight and Terrence still got valuable experience, and I do feel like the Thai kid, I can't really pronounce his last name, is okay as well. And I feel like you can get a guy later in the rounds that can still be serviceable for your team. So no, I want to get defense.
Okay, so wait, let me ask you something. Who's going to have a breakout year, Steele or Gallimore this year?
Gallimore.
Definitely over Steele.
Who, Terrence Steele?
Yeah.
Terrence Steele ain't gonna have no damn breakout year. Gallimore is gonna have more of a breakout year than some Terrence Steele, man. He ain't having no breakout year. It was anything because of what you saw with Gallimore from the second part of the season.
Yep.
He was getting better, and he takes the coaching. He wants to get better. So I feel like the arrow is definitely pointing up with him. Now, if you were to ask me between him and Hill, let me ask you, who you like between Gallimore and Tristan Hill? What you think about Tristan Hill?
I think Hill's gonna have. I think Hill's gonna have a breakout year, but they're both. The reason why I would say Gallimore, and I'm gonna be biased, Canadian born, man. The guy like born 2 hours away from me, man.
So let me ask you this: is this Tristan Hill's make or break year?
Yeah, 100%.
Is he gonna? So do you think he's gonna? So you want him to be the backup or the starter? Because you said you want to see him do something. Who should be the starter, him or Gallimore?
Gallimore.
Why?
Like you said, what I saw from him last year, he's coachable, young guy. He has that dog mentality. Mm-hmm. He's definitely coming out there to make a difference, and he made a difference last year in the second half of the season. I like what I saw from him, and I think this offseason he's gonna develop and to be definitely one of those guys that you're going to want to see out there.
Well, I definitely hope he is. I think one of the reasons why I think I like him, I like him because he's versatile. He can play the 1 and the 3.
Yep.
I don't really think he can stay at the 1. They played him like that at Oklahoma, so he can do it, and he's getting bigger. So I think that's the reason why I like him there. Tristan Hill, I like him solely at the 3 because I can see his pass rushing ability. You feel me? You can see Tristan Hill's pass rushing ability. If he can get his pass rushing ability where he can keep getting in that backfield, that's where Tristan Hill is going to be that asset. If he doesn't really show on that, that's when I feel like, you might have to move on for him.
Yeah, man. The Lunatic, thank you for jumping in, man. The Lunatic was with us last night. The Lunatic, please speak to James. Guys, I hate to do this. I got to step away for a second. Please, the Lunatic, ask your questions to Big Game James, and your boy Sid will be back in 2 seconds, man.
1, 2.
No worries.
What up, the Lunatic?
What's going on, Big Game James? Nice to talk to you again.
Hey, nice to talk to you again. We had that great conversation, our members meeting, man. We appreciate you again.
You got it.
I got that email too, so we'll make sure we get those out.
Hey, there you go.
So
thank the members for their support. Hey,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The eve before the draft, I still cannot get over the fact, looking back, that, as I told you, in the 3 of the last 4 drafts, the team at 10 has traded down. It's just that pick that teams are like, you know what, we can't risk them going. You know, if they want a player, especially hopefully a QB falls, I like it. I like our odds. I mean, I bet on anything. I bet on everything, including trade down. So I'm a winner either way. I covered my bases. But you're saying Neville or T Hill. I mean, listen, you did say at the beginning of last season, hey, he's still young. We got to give him a chance. He was a 2nd-round pick. He was starting to show some flashes, but not consistently. If Gallimore can push him out, again, this is not his regime's. This is not this regime's pick. Gallimore was.
Right, but here's my thing with that, the Lunatic. Here's my thing. You gotta want to Tristan Hill, he's got to show and prove this is his make or break year. But I want him to succeed because now that doesn't have to put us in this bind of we got to keep on drafting defensive tackles. You feel me? We want Tristan Hill to step up. We want Gallimore to continue to trend up because that's right there. You feel like, okay, when we draft another defensive tackle, we feel good because when you look at the need, when we keep on talking defensive tackles, I think the Cowboys are pushing that down now because they're going to feel that we re-signed Antoine Woods. We got Brent Urban. We got Carlos Watkins. We got Gallimore. We got Tristan Hill. We got these guys. They still got Rondell Carter. They're going to feel like, well, we got defensive tackles, so we can wait till that. But those guys are going to have to really step up, and you want Tristan Hill and Gallimore to be them dudes as a combo later on because you ain't going to have no Antoine Woods and Brent Urban forever.
Urban is only 1 year.
Yep, Urban's only also, Urban. Yep.
But I still cannot get over. What did we say when T Hill was drafted? A reach. What did we say when Gallimore was drafted? Value. He had 2nd-round talent. We got him in the 3rd round. That is going to be, will T Hill be motivated? You know, if he were saying the same thing, Sean Lee, you know what? Take the prestige, remember to always fulfill that as a Cowboys player. If he had that enthusiasm, I mean, I still can't get over that interview, but I just don't know if he's going to rise to the occasion or just crumble under the pressure.
Well, see, here's my thing. My guy, and I'm not going to say he's biased because Brandon Tucker, my guy, trained him. And here's my thing with that. When he first was talking, he had all the guys in the room and he didn't have Hill first. He was saying he wasn't feeling Hill. He said the guys in the locker room weren't feeling Hill. But he said he really did rededicate himself. The thing is, Hill's a guy that doesn't talk a lot, and he's kind of quirky. He doesn't say a lot. And even when Brandon said he trained him, he said he didn't talk a lot, but he was hella motivated. I saw, like I said, some flashes right there, and I think we can't look at him because he doesn't do a lot of the rah-rah or he has that stoic face where it doesn't look like he cares. I don't feel like we can take that as he doesn't because I remember, again, we were critical. Me and Wink were critical of Tristan Hill, and Gallimore jumped in our tweet and said, dog, don't be slipping on him just because he don't be doing this and that. And we didn't even tag Gallimore. He jumped in our tweet and told us, nah, don't be slipping on Hill like that. So we'll see. He's got to do it, and I want him to do it because it would help the Cowboys if he does.
Well, I hope so too, but we're going to choose a DT in this draft.
Oh, yeah, they need to.
So there's going to be competition. There's going to be some hard. I mean, the guy from Houston, I can't even remember his name. I mean, he, as the Ninja said, he might not even get out of training camp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Carlos Watkins.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
The interior, the member from the 32nd rush defense joins the 31st.
Right. Yeah, but like I said, they got them guys for value. But people say that about the other guy too, because we had the other guy from the Texans, and they were saying that he was average too, but he made the squad. Christian Covington. Covington, yeah. So he came from the Texans as well, and everybody.
Yeah, but Covington was when we had sponsors.
Yeah, well,
I hate that word, but I mean he signed with. I think he's with the Browns or somebody.
I mean, we had whatchamacallit, and they really messed that up with Hyder because he went to San Francisco and turned up. He had like 9 sacks.
That's one of those, just like our linebackers that left to Kansas City. Jesus.
Well, I mean,
so there's going to be questions.
They got to address that linebacker position as well, for real, because they got to get that safety, that linebacker, because now, I mean, Sean Lee, I already knew, so I wasn't counting him in my heart. But with Jalen, you only really got 4 guys. I'm not counting no March Lillard. You only got 4 guys. You got LVE, who's hurt all the time. You got Jalen Smith, who has to step up. Francis Bernard, who's an undrafted rookie who we haven't even seen on the field. And then Luke Gifford, who was hurt a lot too. And it's just ain't nobody got no regime for him either, no sponsors for him. So he definitely has to show and prove because he was undrafted as well.
I hate to say this, guys. I don't think we're going to be drafting anybody in the linebacker position in the draft.
Yeah, they are.
No, we'll get a linebacker. No, we will get a linebacker.
They are going to draft a linebacker.
Yes.
If they don't draft a linebacker, that is dumb.
I'd be very surprised if we do. I think
why wouldn't they draft a linebacker?
Because I think they're honestly going to put all their baskets with LVE and
you can't do that though. Why would they put that?
I know LVE, yes, I get that. I understand. I understand that. But I just think right now they're going to count on Jalen Smith and LVE to take on that role.
Nah, they're going to draft a linebacker, dog. I put money on that one before 4th round. By 4th round. Especially when the general retired. There was a chance that he was going to come back cheap. We were going to hate it, but that would have given us depth. But he said that's it. I'll call it a career.
Okay, guys, I don't think we're going to draft anybody. I think we're going to go after somebody as a free agent. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Big Game James, you want to bet some wings on it?
I'll definitely bet you some wings on that. Make sure you got my wings. Make sure you got my wings, dog. Make sure you got my wings because I'm winning this bet.
Hey.
No problem, man.
Yeah,
we definitely.
I want the family platter in on that one.
Yeah, you feel me? Oh yeah, you feel me? I want fries. I want drink. I want a biscuit. I want bread. All everything with a seed.
Okay, all right, no problem, man. Guys. You heard it here live. Your man Sid has a bet with Big Game James that we are not going to be addressing that position in the draft.
Oh,
so
yeah. I think we're going to go. Thank you. Easy money, Sid. Thank you.
Who said
Do
that?
not remind me. Do not remind me of the goddamn Baltimore player who is now in Kansas City who said that.
What?
You said easy money.
Oh, okay.
Don't go there.
I got you.
Although it is easy money.
Since I got both of you guys here, I'm going to ask you guys a question. We don't go after, let's say for some odd reason, we don't go after a corner. Let's say we get Pitts. Pitts falls to us. We don't get a good corner. Who would you think that we should go after as a free agent to come on into the Dallas? I'm already thinking the name because I've been saying it, and I don't know why we haven't even signed him yet.
Money. You forget it's Stephen Jones.
Yeah, he's not paying no money, dog.
So who's
the corner bet you was talking about? Who's the corner?
Me, I like to see Sherman.
Money.
I like to see Sherman. Wait. I like to see Sherman.
Oh no.
And Sherman, Jerry remembers what Sherman said about Jerry a couple of years back.
Not Sherman.
So that's
guys. The reason why Sherman would be a good asset to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not saying be on the field the whole time. No, I'm saying he'd be a good guy out there, coach these young guys up with the experience that he has, and just sign Sherman to a 1-year deal. I'd like to see it. What do we have to lose doing that?
I'll bet you wings that doesn't happen after the draft. We do not sign
look, we getting all kind of food from you.
Whoa. I already got one bet going on.
I'll be able to start a restaurant here.
Let's start a restaurant for real.
But I'm asking you, big games. Honestly speaking, would he not be a good asset to the Dallas Cowboys? Forget all the humble under what he said about Jerry and that.
I don't care about what the hell he said to Jerry. That don't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about, what he doing on the field. I just feel like, man, I feel like your time is done, dog. I feel like you ain't that dude. And people saying about the veteran leadership, what's the point of being a veteran when you're gonna be getting cookied and getting cooked a lot? You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing, if we're gonna do that, if they're gonna go get a corner, then as I said before, let's trade a pick of next year and go get somebody for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were talking about a Stephen Gilmore, like I said, a J.C. Jackson, I would have to go through a lineup of corners that could possibly be available on into their expiring deals that you could possibly maybe poach and entice a team with a second-round pick. That's what I think you should do, because at the end of the day, you would get a player who's young. You would lose out on a next year pick, but now you got a young player added with another depth, and you could still probably draft another corner, but that's what I would be going after.
My man, cornerback it's deceptively deep. You said, as I've said, we can go offense at 10 and still get Stokes. We can still get the Stanford cornerback, quality cornerbacks in the second round, just like we did. Where did Diggs? Where was he projected? We were talking at Diggs at 17 for the Cowboys. We got him in the second round. Wacky things happen in the draft that are going to be there. We're going to have a quality cornerback in the second round if we decide to go that route. So Dallas, by only signing Jordan Lewis in free agency, the year of value, basically told the league where our cornerback is going to be in the draft.
Priority.
Yeah.
It's priority, because if you only sign Jordan Lewis, re-sign Jordan Lewis is priority. And here's the thing. You don't never think, Steven, and just like the lunatic said, I mean, even with Richard Sherman, how much you gonna ask? I don't even want to talk about him. I don't even want him on the squad. And it ain't even because of what he said. Just feel like it ain't gonna be the fit. I just feel like it. I just feel like it's not gonna be the fit. But he's still gonna want money, and Jerry ain't gonna be paying. I mean, Steven ain't paying no money. Ain't paying no money, no Sherman. Now 33, yes. He ain't paying him no money.
Steven, well, I said it after we signed Dak. I said it in my previous shows. It seems like we haven't done really much. And I think the Dallas Cowboys are looking to see what's going to happen in the draft, and then afterwards go after some of these free agency guys. But, Stephen Jones' pocket is so tight that,
Big Game James, Mike White has said it repeatedly on your stream. Brandon Carr has left a scar on Stephen Jones's soul.
That's why
with all that criticism he took about overpaying, he would rather go cheap than overpay.
Yeah, because you know why? It's safe, and that's why he's got baby nuts. You feel me? That's why he has baby nuts. He's got baby nuts because after that happened, them nuts swelled up, went up in him, and he said, "I can't do it no more." Because think about it like this, the lunatic. He won't jump out there and do it, and because guess what? If it fails, they can't come back at him. If he's conservative with it, you can say, well, they weren't that good, but you didn't spend a lot of money and we still got money to pay people. It's the illusion that you're helping the team, but to me, it's hurting the team because it's still a conservative nature. And you don't have to go out there and spend $20 million every single year, but you can get 1 or 2 free agents here and there to make the difference on your team. You can't always say, let's get these role players and let's them fit them with our team, because once again, who is scheming on our defense? Name a person besides DeMarcus Lawrence. And to me, DeMarcus Lawrence is very good, but he ain't great. He ain't the guy that we know that if it's third down, DeMarcus Lawrence is going to get that sack. No, it ain't. That ain't true. I don't care what you say. No, it's not. Great players still make great plays, whether they're double. I don't want to hear, well, DeMarcus Lawrence, when they double team him, he opens it up. That's why he's so good. No, because with great players that I seen, when they got double team, triple team, they were still making plays. That's what he don't do. And they only scheme for him. So, yeah, we need some players that we can get somebody to be scared of because ain't nobody scheming for nobody on Dallas's defense besides possibly DeMarcus Lawrence.
It's only DeMarcus Lawrence.
You feel me? They're not thinking about nobody else on the team.
Guys, I have to agree with what Ashton Jackson said here. He said, I don't care if we get 10 corners in the next 3 days. If people think these young DBs are going to step up in here and be a Deion Sanders or Jalen Ramsey, y'all are tripping. We need a veteran corner. And I agree.
I mean, nobody is saying that, but guess what? Richard Sherman, man, I don't know what y'all think about some Richard Sherman, but in my opinion, he done. He ain't that dude no more, and he ain't going to make this team better. Not me, in my opinion. No, he's not. And I understand you need to get a vet, but get a younger vet. Get somebody who's going to make a difference on your team. That's okay to get somebody who's 26, 27 vet. 33, 34, dog. Come on, dog. No, that time is gone. Everybody keep on talking about Richard Sherman because that name. Nah, he ain't that guy no more, man.
Okay. The Ninja, you just became my fan. D-Law is soft too. I've never been a huge D-Law fan, but I will say it. I think D-Law will have a breakout year this year, and I can't believe I'm saying it. I think that he's coming back with a chip on his shoulder, and he has to. So I agree with you.
D-Law will have a breakout year because 94 is going to be opposite of him for a whole season, hopefully. Now they've got to go ahead and going back to that comment you said about the cornerbacks. You know what makes linebackers better and cornerbacks look better? A strong defensive line. And Dan Quinn, right. I think with his he came up as a defensive line coach before he became a defensive coordinator. He will go ahead and implement that, and it'll kind of do a domino effect. It took Diggs a while. He was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to take that second step. He's training over there with his brothers. Hopefully he'll stay away from the rappers, but he's doing what he needs to do.
Diggs is gonna have a great breakout year this year too, because he did some great things last year. I like what I saw from him, so I think he's gonna be another one that's gonna have a breakout year. Let's talk about that.
Let's better not be in trouble.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So with that being said, big game, James and the Lunatic. I'll ask you this question and I'll let you go. I appreciate you jumping on. Big games. I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna ask you on offense, and then I'm gonna ask you on defense. Who's going to have a breakout year on offense for you this year?
I know the popular choice would probably be CD because of what he did last year. I got two players if I can name them. If I can add two, or one A and one B. My one breakout player would be Blake Jarwin. Because we didn't see him all last year, and the jury's still out on him. Let's keep it real. The jury's still out. He hasn't done anything where you're like, Blake Jarwin's the guy. He still has to show and prove. You're hoping, but I think this will be the year because Dak will be better as long as he stay healthy. I think Blake Jarwin will be a breakout. And 1B, for me, Tony Pollard. I think Tony Pollard is primed to really ball out, really I just feel like he's going to really show out this year. I don't know if he's going to do the 1,000-yard thing, and it's no shade on Zeke at all. This is no shade to Zeke. I just feel like Tony Pollard in his third year. We saw that little bit of that last year. I think he's really going to have a good year this year for some reason. I just feel.
Okay. And defense, who for you on defense is going to have a breakout year?
For a breakout year. I'm going to say breakout year. Randy Gregory. I'm going to say Randy Gregory because he hasn't played a 16-game season yet in his whole career. He hasn't played a full 16-game season, and we haven't seen him get a 10-sack season yet, have we? We haven't seen that yet, have we? So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with Randy Gregory because he's going to have a full – he played, half of the year, right? And we seen he's going to have a full off season, and then he'll have a full next season with no hitches in the road, with a clear mind. Doesn't have to worry about the issues and the problems and the commissioner beating down his head and being over his back. It's a big difference when you can play with a clear mind and a focus. So Randy Gregory, for me, this is a year he's going to get his first 10-sack season.
Okay, you guys heard it here first from Big Game James. The Lunatic, I'll ask you the same question, man. Offense, who do you think is going to have a breakout year?
Maybe not a breakout year because it's hard to have a breakout year when you've been the 2-time rushing champion, but he'll have a rebound year. Zeke. Zeke will have a rebound year. You know, he's not going to have a 2,000-yard season, but he is going to command the respect of those defenses again. And now we're going to see pick your poison. What do you want to do? How do you want to die slowly? How do you want to die? Slowly or quick with our wide receivers? So I'm thinking Zeke with that offensive line, with Dak, Jarwin. This is what this offense was meant to be. And Kellen Moore. I think McCarthy is going to, get a little bit more into him and saying, hey, this is inside the 35. This is what I would recommend. It seemed like McCarthy was just along for the ride and let Moore go on his own, instead of going in there and putting his stamp on, say, hey, I recommend this one, overriding some plays maybe. Because, Kellen Moore can move the ball between 30s, but then it seems to just grind to a halt once you get inside the 35s. And I think McCarthy will go ahead and help him with that. So I think Zeke on offense will have a rebound year. Hopefully he'll have a breakout year. Oh, I'd love to see that. And on defense, with the D-line, I was going to go Randy Gregory with Big A James. He stole it from me. I'll go Diggs. He dropped how many? 3 or 4 interceptions last year?
Yeah, he dropped 3.
He dropped 3. I think Diggs is going to take that next step, lead us in interceptions, and I think he will cement his place as CB1. Because we're not going to go PS2 and Horn, I'm afraid, are probably going to be gone before 10. So we're going to go offense. Probably offensive tackle at 10.
Okay. So here's my breakout players. Guys, I hate that, everybody, even in chat right now, people are saying that Zeke had a decline year that year. Even though Zeke had like fumbles, Zeke still put up 1,000 yards last year. So you know what? And he took on a big, when Dak went down, the weight of the team basically came down on Zeke. That's the way I saw it. That's the way I looked at it. He tried to take on that responsibility role. And I think he was young and it went all to his head. And I still liked what I saw from him last year. And I think that he'll do very well this year as well. I think a lot of players are going to have breakout years, but I want to see what Zeke is going to do with Dak back on the field. And like you said, Jarwin there and everything like that. I think you're going to see the ball being run a lot. And I think we're going to do a lot better in the red zone. With Zeke back in the field.
You want to know another low-key one, I think? Our center, Badass. He was one of the top-rated offensive linemen, even though he played limited snaps last year. I think Tyler Badass can go ahead and grow and become a force in the middle of our line. He's a sneaky one that, we don't pay attention to the O-line that much unless something happens, but I think Badass is a good one also.
Okay. Yeah, Stephen Lupin says, excuses. We want to win. Give Pollard more. Give the ball more, I guess he's basically saying. I totally agree with that. So the Lunatic, I want to thank you so much for coming on once again. Thank you for the support. Like always, I know you're always up in everybody's stream. I think you're one of the guys that always supports us, and I appreciate you coming on once again. And you have a wonderful night, my guy.
Likewise, my brother. Remember, no matter what happens tomorrow, always go Cowboys because it's puro pinche Cowboys. Have a great one, sir. Cowboys Nation.
Hey, appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you. Yeah, man. And on defense, he said it, and I was going to say it too. I think Diggs is going to have a breakout year this year. I like what I saw from him last year. He's a fighter, man. When he messed up, he tried to make up for it. He made up for it in that Seattle game. And I like what I saw from him as well. So with that being said, are you excited? Every year I think we all say it. The Dallas Cowboys, this is their year. This is their year. And do you think that the way the team's developing and, the team's working, gelling well together, a lot of young guys got the experience that they needed last year, saw what it's like and now making the changes to get better. Do you think that the Dallas Cowboys will have a better year this year? And what do you think our record's going to be this year?
I don't want to do them record things. I'm done with that type of stuff. But I'll just throw something out there. What I think we could be a lot better. But right now, I think we're 9-8, 17 games. Now I'm saying 9-8. They definitely should be better. Well, they're 6-10 last year, so 9-8 is better. But that's not an improvement in my opinion. I feel like Mike McCarthy has to win the division this year, because it is winnable. I know people talking about Washington, and they got that good defense. They got some pretty good, offensive receivers. Fitzpatrick, I mean, I don't care. I mean, yes, he can win some games, but nobody's scared of no Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, exactly.
The Giants, when I look at the Giants, I'm not scared of them. And Danny Dimes is not that guy. I've been said that. And then when you look at the Eagles, they're in super transition, and they don't even know about Jalen Hurts. So that, like I made a tweet earlier, just on alone, QB play alone, Dallas should win the division, just on QB play alone.
Yeah, I saw your post, and
you know what I'm saying? So, and then when you look at the team, the way the team is constructed, you should be able to win the East, because you have more of your team coming back, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You should definitely win the East. So my thing is, you got to win the East, in my opinion, this year. And it's the second year. He's got to win at least one playoff game to me. Because if not, then it's like, why is McCarthy here? You got him for the veteran leadership. You got him because he's been to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. You got him because he won a lot of games. And although it was Aaron Rodgers there, you still won some games. So if he comes back with mediocre again, I don't know why he stays there. I don't know why he stays. And that's when I talk about Kellen Moore being the next coach.
Well, when McCarthy started with the Green Bay, he had a terrible first season with them. And the second season, he came and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know, but he also had Aaron Rodgers, and I know we got Dak, but Aaron Rodgers did help a whole lot of Mike McCarthy, because when he didn't have Aaron Rodgers, he didn't win no games. So that's kind of point. That's what I just kind of look at. I'm just looking at this second season. He's going to get the COVID excuse, even though he shouldn't. I'm only going to give him the excuse because there was a whole gang of injuries. I'm not going to use the COVID excuse. There was crazy amount of injuries that you've never seen before. So those
weren't we second for the most injuries last year behind San Fran?
Yeah, the injuries were bad, and you're not going to see that back-to-back years. That just doesn't happen in football in general. So now, presumably, you'll have Dak a whole season. Hopefully, your team is pretty healthy. If all those things are going in your favor, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a bad record. You should have a bad record, and there's no reason why you should not be in the playoffs.
I agree. I think, like, I agree with you. There should be no reason for us not to win the division. And I'd like to see, if we do win the division, I'd like to see what the Cowboys are going to do in the draft. Who's making you laugh?
Steve Lupton, he says, I'm always Team Kellen. It's this, I'm Team Real.
Yeah.
I don't hate on Kellen. I think he's a good mind, but I'm telling you, I said, and I'm not even tooting the horn or anything. I'm just saying that when they got Kellen Moore in the fold, when they brought him over from Detroit, I was looking at that from afar. My first thought was, this is going to be Jason Garrett part two, not Jason Garrett the coach, but the affinity and the love that Jerry said, I'm pulling a young guy from a spot. I'm going to develop him on my own. He's going to be homebred. He ain't go from nobody else. He's young. And if he does win it, we can say, we did it. We brought Kellen. We brought Kellen up. We did this with Kellen. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like they ain't going to go out. They weren't going to get Kellen Moore to coaching now. Right after Jason Garrett, they weren't going to do that because he's too green. He's only like 32, 33 years old. But what they got that when they hired McCarthy, who was the veteran, Sid, that was the 5-year buffer. So between that time, that's enough time for Kellen Moore to learn more about the NFL football game, get better condition. And so if it doesn't work with McCarthy, boom, you just transition right over to Kellen Moore. And like I talked with Mike White, he said the players love Kellen Moore, not just ownership. The players love Kellen Moore. And if you got the players loving you and ownership loving you, they ain't going to go out and hire nobody else.
100%, man. Guys, you heard it here first, man. Big Game James, I want to thank you for tuning in and jumping on my channel, and we're going to do some work together going forward.
Yes,
and
yes, we are.
I appreciate you, man. So one last question, and then we're going to end it there. Who's your first pick tomorrow? If Pitts, Surtain, Horn, any of those guys is available to us, you're saying Horn no matter what.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm Team Horn. I've been on Horn since A1 day when I said he would be my pick. If I have my choice from all those, like I said, I like all those other guys, but Horn to me, I like the attitude. I like the aggressiveness. I like the attitude, and I feel like the Cowboys need that type of attitude in the building. And they need that. When we had Dez Bryant and when we had Michael Irvin, the team was different. Y'all know it, man. Those guys was yell on the sidelines, get those guys together, and that passion, man. And I like that passion what he plays, and we need more of those passionate type players in the building for the Cowboys, especially on the back end.
Guys, you heard it here first, man. Big Game James announced Horn would be his pick for tomorrow. Let the fans know where to find you one last time, man, and we're going to definitely lock it off right here. And I want to wish you the best. You're doing a 24-hour stream tomorrow, right?
No, I'm not. Hell no, I'm not doing that. I am not doing. You got me all the. Sid been drinking on the show, man. He been drinking his workout juice. Sid been drinking his workout drink.
I saw your picture, and it said you were going to be on.
I said I was going to be on a 24-hour show, not be hosting a 24-hour show. I will be on a 24-hour show. That's my guys, UK of
man.
UK of over in the UK Cowboys.
UK Cowboys. Yeah,
but they got make sure y'all check that out, man, because they started tomorrow, and it's a 24 hours. They're starting at 7:30 Thursday, going all the way to Friday 7:30. But dog, they got everybody. They got Stephen Jones. They got James Slater. They got Brian Broaddus, Dave Hellman. They got everybody on there, and they got a few of us guys on there too. Skywalker Steele, my dog's gonna be on there. Tuck's gonna be on there. I think a few other people will be on there. I've been messing with UK Cowboys for a while, man, and they're really, 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 really good people. So if you'd like to check it out, I'll send it out. I'll tweet it when I get ready to go live, because I'm just gonna do a little excerpt on there. Right quick, because they're just going to be bringing people on, what their thoughts are, and it's just going to be rolling. You'll just call in, they'll just bring the link. So it's going to be super dope, man. So I'm just excited I'm going to be at the draft tomorrow with my boo. We'll be in Cleveland tomorrow at the draft.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We'll be at the draft tomorrow. So just check out the video. We'll be going live. I don't know if you can be in there inside the building going live when the picks are going on. I don't know about all that, but it don't matter. We'll still be there in Cleveland at the draft, having a good time. So if you want to check the channel out, Silver and Blue Nation, hey, check me out. We'll have a good time and do our thing.
Yeah, man. All right, man. You guys heard it here. He's Big Game James gonna be all over the place tomorrow. I know there's a lot. I'm doing something as well. I'm announcing something tomorrow as well. This is gonna be great. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of guys that are doing this. Guys, understand something. A lot of us bloggers do this for the love of the team. I don't make no money out of this. This is not, I have a regular job and everything like that. So I just do this because I love entertaining you guys, and I appreciate you guys who are new subscribers to my channel. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. Please support us and definitely be on the lookout for what's going to be going down tomorrow. So Big Game James, before I go, please let everybody know where to find you, man.
Yes, once again, check me out on Silver and Blue Nation on all platforms. You just type in Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James. It'll come up. You can follow me on YouTube, Twitter, at Big Game James, Instagram, Silver and Blue Nation, Facebook, Silver and Blue Nation, and Big Game James. And make sure you keep on following my boy Sid, because like he said, me and him, we're going to be doing some stuff behind the scenes. He's going to be helping me step my game up a little bit in some things, and I really appreciate him doing that for me and helping me out with that, because I told you I'm old school up in here. I ain't the new school. So you feel me? I need to get a little new school in my life. So keep on supporting my guy, man, and keep on trying to, let's keep on doing the thing that we do. Cowboys football, and keep on bringing it.
Yeah, man, 100%. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please, if you don't know what my channel is, it's Dallas Cowboys, the #4 life. My Instagram, Sid DC for life. And also my Twitter is Sid DC for life as well.
He don't even know his Twitter, man. Get him together.
Man. Yo, I just lost it for a minute, man. Yo, I don't check. I jump on Twitter as much, man, but definitely the information is all in the display below. Yo, it's a late night. I haven't been sleeping because of this draft. This draft, bro, I'm so stressed out for this draft. I'm having nightmares about not having like Pitts not being.
I know, right?
Like I'm just like sleepless. So, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Big Game James, always a pleasure having you on as well, man. Yo, when I announced that you were coming on, I was getting tweets from everybody. They're like, yo, I'm tuning in. So
yeah, you better. Shit.
Yeah, man. Big Games. Yo, I already told you. You got it. Once the borders open up, you're always welcome. You have a place to stay.
Hey.
You know, it's you got to come to Canada,
yeah, I'm coming, dog. Don't. Hey, Boo already know when people be like, "Hey, you got to come here." Y'all sure? Because I'll be there.
Bring the wife, bring the kids, man. I'm good.
Look. Sid be saying that. Look, 2 days later, we knock on the door, whole family there. What's up, Sid? He like, no,
I didn't know there was 10 of y'all.
He was like, no, dog. You know what? I only got one bedroom, man. Sorry.
yeah, man. No. Trust me, man. I got a big enough place. You're always welcome. We're gonna make it happen, man. I'm coming. I hope we're gonna go see a Dallas Cowboys game together at some point this year. Because we were supposed to do that last year, but because of COVID, you know how it happened. So, guys, speaking about COVID, everybody stay safe, man. Appreciate who you have in your lives, man, because you never know the next day they could be gone, man. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Much love to you, Big Game James. Much love to everybody who was in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Please continue to support. It's your boy, Sid. Guess what? And I'm out.
Peace.